Welcome to the Smart Business Show, episode 22. Today I'm going to talk about the last time I had a full-time job where I was actually local. So I was not working remote and traveled to the office every day. And in this job, I was the sole and first web person for the business. The website had previously been built by the print designer who did as good a job as she knew how to do. So not spectacular. There were certainly some holes in it and some issues, but she did as good a job as she knew how to do, and she asked all the questions she knew to ask. So to say that I upped their game and experience and in proficiency is an understatement. I was the first person that could actually do the job that needed to get done. So one time in a meeting, the boss had this all-fired awesome idea for the website. And I honestly don't even remember what it was now. But this all-fired awesome idea was dumb. Let's say it was something like, let's add a slider to the site, because if we have a slider, we get to put more stuff up there. Now, we all know that only 1% of users click on a slider, and 89% of that 1% click on the first slide, and on and on and on. There are studies about how ineffective sliders are. So what I said to him was, basically, that's a bad idea. I don't think we should do it. Here's my reasoning why we shouldn't do it. And he got mad at me because I contradicted him in a meeting. That actually ended up me up in his office later, basically being told not to contradict him, which is silly because I'm hired to give him the best advice possible, to make sure we used the money provided to us, because we were a nonprofit, so to use that money properly. And so that's what I told him I'd do. But the thing is, he wanted to keep pushing that idea. Eventually I was able to talk him out of it, but it took a long time. He was simply hanging on to his idea because he thought of it and because it was awesome, in air quotes, if you're not watching the video, because it was awesome. Not because it was actually a good idea, but because he had this cool idea, the word he thought was cool. So today I've got a question for you. Are you holding on to your awesome, in air quotes again, idea simply because you had it? Are you holding on to that idea for your client site because you just had that idea and you're ignoring your client and you're ignoring what they really need? That's something we have to be careful of. Just because we've been doing it longer doesn't always mean that we have the best ideas, that we know exactly what we need to do with stuff. In fact, sometimes that makes us entirely blind to what we should do. So while we should default to reach search and look back at that, we also need to remember that sometimes we should just try something the client says. Even if it doesn't seem quite right, we should try it. We should get them to invest in some testing. And we shouldn't hold on to our ideas just because we had them. Our end goal is to serve the client best. Thanks for watching.